Welcome back to Weight and Metabolism. I'm going to be talking about a very important topic today, gut microbiome. Our gut talks to us. Let's hear it. The gut microbiome and how it affects metabolic health, what we know, and what is being sold to us. I want to start with a question. How many of you have been told by a wellness influencer, a supplement ad, or maybe even a well-meaning friend that the secret to your weight, your energy, your skin, your metabolism, and basically your entire health is your gut microbiome? It is everywhere right now. Gut health has become one of the biggest categories in the wellness industry. Probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, fermented foods, microbiome tests that are expensive, that promise to decode your unique bacterial blueprint. The marketing is sophisticated, the promises are enormous, and the price tags are significant. But here's the thing. The science behind the gut microbiome is genuinely fascinating. There is real research here, but there is also an enormous gap between what the research actually shows and what is being sold to us. And today, I want to close that gap. I'm Dr. Sharma, a physician that is triple board certified in family medicine, obesity medicine, and lifestyle medicine, a certified menopause practitioner, and a life coach. Now, let's talk about your gut. What we know, what we do not, and what is worth your attention and your money. Number one, what is gut microbiome and why does it matter? Your gut microbiome is the vast community of trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, and other microbes that live primarily in our large intestines. The scale of this is genuinely staggering. We carry more microbial cells in our gut than we have human cells in our entire body. This is not a side note to our biology, it is a central feature of it. These microorganisms are not passive passengers. They're active participants in our physiology. They help digest certain fibers and carbohydrates that our own digestive enzymes cannot break down. They produce short-chain fatty acids, the compounds like butyrate, propionate, and acetate that feed your gut lining, regulate the inflammation, and communicate with your metabolism. They produce neurotransmitters including serotonin, a significant proportion of which is made in the gut, not in the brain. They interact with our immune system, our hormones, nervous system through what researchers call the gut-brain axis. So yes, your gut microbiome matters. The question is how much, in what ways, and what can you actually do about it? What does the research actually show about our gut health and metabolism? The connection between the gut microbiome and metabolic health is one of the most active areas of research in medicine right now, and the early findings are genuinely compelling. Studies in both animal models and humans have found that people with obesity tend to have different microbiome compositions than people without obesity. Specifically, difference in the ratio of two major bacterial phyla, the Firmicutes and Bacteroides. I will never say it right, but people with type 2 diabetes show distinct microbiome patterns also. Patients with metabolic syndrome have reduced microbial diversity compared to the metabolically healthy individuals. Research has shown that gut microbiome influences how much energy we extract from food, how our fat cells behave, how our hunger hormones are regulated, and how our bodies respond to insulin. There is even fascinating research showing when germ-free mice raised with no gut bacteria at all receive a microbiome transplant from obese mice, they gain significant amount of weight than those receiving a transplant from a lean mice even on the same diet. This is real science. It is not a fringe statement. It is being published in journals like Nature, Cell, and the New England Journal of Medicine. But, and this is critical, the vast majority of the research is associational. We can see that the microbiome in people with obesity look different. What we cannot yet say with confidence is exactly how much of that difference is a cause of metabolic dysfunction versus a consequence of it. what came first? The gut microbiome and metabolic health influence each other bidirectionally. And unpicking the causal relationships in humans is genuinely difficult. Now, what is being sold to us and what does evidence say about that? Let's talk about the marketplace. The gap between the research and the products being sold is vast. The probiotic supplements are a multi-billion-dollar industry. The idea is simple and appealing. Take a capsule full of beneficial bacteria, repopulate your gut, improve your health. But the reality is more complicated. Most commercially available probiotics contain strains that have not been studied for specific conditions, like certain strains of lactobacillus for antibiotic-associated diarrhea or bifidobacterium for IBS. The evidence for these specific applications in specific populations is reasonable, but the broad claims that we see in the market that a probiotic supplement will improve your metabolism, help you lose weight, reduce inflammation, and optimize your gut health generally are not supported by the current evidence. Most probiotic bacteria do not survive the acidic environment of the stomach in meaningful numbers. Those that do survive often do not colonize the gut long term. And the microbiome is so individual, so shaped by genetics, early life exposure through your mom, diet, medications, and environment. There is no one-size-fits-all bacterial supplement, and it is an oversimplification of extraordinary complexity. The microbiome even differs if a child is delivered vaginally versus by a C-section. The microbiome testing is another rapidly growing category. The companies will sequence your gut bacteria from a stool sample and provide personalized dietary recommendations based on your unique microbial profile. The science sounds impressive. The problem is that the research linking specific microbiome compositions to specific dietary recommendations in individual humans is not there yet. It's not mature enough to support the clinical claims that are being made. And they're expensive. Your microbiome also changes significantly from day to day, week to week, based on what you eat and dozens of other variables. A single snapshot has real limitations. I'm not saying that these products are harmful. I'm just saying that evidence does not yet support the price tags and the promises. Most of the gut testing kits also come with their own personalized supplement recommendations. But here's the good news. The things that most reliably support a diverse, healthy gut microbiome are not expensive. They are not proprietary, and they are also the same things that support your metabolic health more broadly. Dietary fiber is the single most evidence-backed intervention for gut microbiome. The bacteria that produce beneficial short-chain fatty acids feed on fermentable fiber found in vegetables, legumes, whole grains, fruits, nuts, and seeds. Most people on Western diets consume far less fiber than the recommended 25 to 38 grams per day. Increasing fiber intake gradually to avoid digestive discomfort is the most powerful thing most people can do for the gut microbiome. Then, dietary diversity matters. A wide variety of plant foods exposes your microbiome to a wide variety of substrates, supporting microbial diversity. Research consistently shows that people who eat 30 or more different plant foods per week have significantly more diverse microbiomes than those eating fewer. This does not have to be complicated. It just means rotate your vegetables, try different legumes, try different beans, change your grains, and eat seasonal produce. Fermented foods have also emerged as a great evidence behind them. A 2021 Stanford study published in Cell found that a high fermented food diet, including yogurt, kefir, fermented vegetables like kimchi and kombucha, increase microbiome diversity and decrease markers of inflammation compared to a high fiber diet in the short term. This does not mean that fermented foods replace fiber. It means that both have a role. So minimizing ultra-processed foods. Heavily processed foods are low in fiber, high in additives, and associated with reduced microbial diversity. The shift away from ultra-processed foods towards whole foods is one of the most consistent dietary recommendations across virtually every area of medicine. And the gut microbiome is no exception. Sleep, stress management, physical activity all influence the gut as well, through pathways that involve cortisol, gut mobility, and immune function. Your gut health is not separate from your overall metabolic health. It is woven through it. In closing, the gut microbiome is real, it matters, and the science is genuinely compelling and exciting, but it is also one of the most overhyped and over-commercialized areas in wellness right now. You do not need an expensive probiotic or a microbiome test to support your gut health. You need fiber, you need dietary diversity, you need sleep, stress management, and movement. The same foundations that support every other aspect of your health. The most sophisticated thing you can do for your gut is also the most not glamorous one. Eat more plants, eat a wide variety of them, sleep, move, and that's what the evidence says. A note before you go: while I'm a physician, I'm not your personal doctor, and this content is mainly to educate and inform, not to replace the individualized care you deserve. Please work with your own healthcare provider for guidance specific to your situation. If this episode gave you a clearer picture of what is worth your attention and your money and what is not, please share with someone who has been spending money on gut health products and wondering if they are working or not. Because this is the deep dive on the microbiome and the gut health. Subscribe and stay with me. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you at the next episode.